Tonight's dish is going to be a pesto dish with fresh basil straight from the garden. Basil is easy to grow. Anybody can do it. It's from the ground up, from the earth, and it's a wonderful herb, beautifully green. We're going to mix fresh basil into our dish tonight. Hi, we made it back into the kitchen, and today's dish is going to be a pesto pasta primavera. We're going to be using really wonderful ingredients. Most of them are all organic, and they're going to be exciting and delicious. So let's start out with the pesto part of this dish, okay? So this is what we picked this morning. This was that beautiful basil, that fresh organic right out of my garden. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to mix in some imported pinoles, okay, Italian pinoles. And then obviously some beautiful, beautiful garlic that we're going to chop up and put in, okay? We're going to use a little bit of sun-dried tomatoes in here, and we're going to be putting in a tad bit of cayenne pepper and some Celtic salt into it for flavor. Okay, that's going to be the pesto part of the dish. The foundation of this pesto pasta primavera will obviously be the pasta, but we're not going to use ordinary pasta. We're using fettuccine style pasta that's made from brown rice. The next ingredient that we're going to be putting in there is a nice beautiful organic broccoli. We're going to saute everything with a little bit of coconut oil. We get our basil that we picked into the Vitamix right now. There's about 4 cups of basil in here in this big bowl. Okay, and we're just going to basically put it right in just like this. I washed it. It's nice and moist. Okay, we get it in. Alright, so we got that in. Next thing we do is we're just going to take the olive oil. Now, basically what the olive oil is, I want to say, maybe about a half a cup. Okay, and maybe a tad bit more than a half cup. Okay, then we just want to grab our garlic. I often put more garlic because I'm a garlic lover, and obviously this garlic is really wonderful and healing, and it's raw going right into your beautiful pesto dish. Okay, I open the shaker so quite a bit can come out, and this is the Italian seasoning. We all love Italian seasoning, and 4 or 5 little shakes of that. Oregano, really important, very beautiful Italian seasoning. We open the shaker in this thing so it comes out a little bit more freer, and we give it maybe about 4, 5, 6 shakes, okay? Okay, great. Then the next thing is, we're generous. This was filled up the other day, so I used half of it. This is about, I can get three uses out of this. So I'll use about 1/3 of it. Okay, so there's a tiny bit left. So you can, I did about 4 or 5 shakes of it. Okay, so we blended it up beautifully. Everything is in here working. The last piece I like to put in at the end would be the cayenne, okay? So we're only going to put in 1/4 teaspoon of the cayenne. So I generally have an idea of what that 1/4 teaspoon looks like, right? Right, that's basically what that 1/4 teaspoon looks like with the cayenne. And then I just mix it back up to make sure it's in there. And again, that cayenne is very healing, it's very powerful. It gives it a real luster and a life and a vividness that you want from your food. And that's what's going to add to this. The end result of the pesto. When it came out of the Vitamix, I put it into this bowl right here, and as you can see, it's a nice dark beautiful green, very sort of rich and kind of thick texture, which I like, and it's ready to go. Here's the stuff that we got to still cook now. This is the tempeh. I happen to use a 3-grain tempeh. What is tempeh? Tempeh is a fermented soy product. Really good source of protein, adds a tremendous amount of flavor and texture into the dish. Everybody loves it, but everybody has questions about cooking it. So I'm going to show you how easy it is and how quick it is to cook it. Alright, I've started to heat up my frying pan. What I do is I get it heated up. Okay, it's pretty warm, as you can, at least I can feel. I drop in, as you can see, just to, just kind of glaze the pan nicely. And then you just kind of put in the pieces. I chop them up into little squares, just like this, and you saute it, kind of like, just move it around, okay? When I get to the end of my onion, I just kind of turn it a little bit, and you just want to get it into those, follow the grain. And then I'll move this around to just
make sure everything's getting cooked nicely on the tempeh. You know, I just want to let that cook for another 10 seconds or so. Okay, and now what we want to do is add in our onions. Okay, so this is a really nice mixture between the tempeh and the onions, and you just kind of cook them up together like this. Okay. Get my stuff. We're ready now to mix all the ingredients. Okay, the tempeh with the onions are done. As you can see, the onions cooked so they got brown. That's what you kind of want to do, is just get that nice brown. You have a pretty good idea what the onions look like when they're cooked brown. That's where you want to get a little brown look. So let's empty the tempeh and the onions into the dish. That's the fettuccine dish. Okay. We can kind of just mix that in a little bit. Okay, the next thing we want to do is put in the broccoli. Okay. Mix that in a little bit. Okay, and now the final ingredient. Okay, we're going to put in the pesto. Okay, so you can be generous with your pesto. So I put in 2 pretty big scoops, and let's see how that works out as I now begin to move it. Well, here we are, from garden to kitchen to table, and voila, the dish is complete.